Hey guys, CruiserGex back with more Final Fantasy XIV goodness. When we last left off, we had just completed Stone Vigil. And we're now back in Gridania, where it's currently raining because I slacked off between, live streams. But anyway, we're gonna talk to Sid now. It calms me to look at her. It's as though I've been reunited with a part of me I never knew was missing. Hardly surprising. You did design and build her. I bear good news. The Seed Seers has granted our request to house the Enterprise. We may take as long as we require to repair her. Of course, it would be rank folly to take one moment more than we require. Garuda, lest we forget, grows stronger by the hour. If we are to have any hope of wresting this benighted realm from her talons, it must needs be soon. Though I am no expert in the workings of airships, it seems plain to me that the Enterprise suffered much from her time in the wilderness. Am I not correct, Sid? You are. Frankly, it's a miracle she carried us this far. As you know, the Howling Eye is encircled by a raging tempest, apt to turn proud trees to matchwood. Our battle will end before it begins if the Enterprise cannot weather the storm. Given time, I believe I can fully repair her. But if this tempest is as fearsome as you say, even that may not be enough. Confound it. There must be a way. A way to brave the fury of the elements. The elements. But of course, that's it. If we work upon the element itself, using the power of a corrupted crystal, we could clear a path through the storm and spare the Enterprise a battering. I see. You propose to utilize the properties of a crystal to alter the elemental aspect of the barrier. It seems so childishly simple in retrospect. Though mayhap not to you, Bayan. We speak of the manifestations of over-expected aether that can be found throughout Eorzea. Since the calamity disrupted the land's etheric currents, such crystals have become comparatively commonplace, which has been cause of great woe, as they are known to warp etheric energies, including those of living organisms. The point is, we could theoretically use a corrupted crystal to convert the wind-inspected aether comprising Garuda's barrier into aether of another aspect, one she cannot control. With certain modifications, the Enterprise should be able to deliver to us to the Howling Eye in comfort, however hard Garuda blows. But we are getting ahead of ourselves. All of this rests upon our ability to procure a crystal with the necessary properties. Have you any idea where we might acquire one? No. But I know a man who might. A scholar by the name of Lambertient, who resides in Camp Drybone. Strange as it may sound, I met him during my time at the church. Well, Marx met him, I suppose. Whether out of pity or for want of more willing listener, he would talk to me for hours at a time about his etheric studies, corrupted crystals being his pet subject. It was as a result of these conversations that poor Marx was observed to possess an uncommon knack for theoretical science. Bayan, I need you to return to Thanalan and seek out this scholar. Sid and I will set about repairing the Enterprise in your absence. Okay, that works for me. Alright, we need to purchase passage to Ul'dah. That's first and foremost, of course. Alright, we are out of there. These. They're still pretty well intact. Alright, we're gonna ride down to the Ruby Road Exchange. More on that music later. Alright, we're gonna take the Chocobo Keep. To Camp Drybone, because I'm lazy. It'll take 3 minutes, so... I don't have to deal with the annoying music, right? So... I swear, it's always so silent in, outside of towns. Yeah, I know I'm 6 or more levels above the recommended level for the Fate. I don't feel like level syncing. It would be amazing if we didn't have to deal with this silence. And if this Chocobo Porter didn't have to run all the way around. Oh wait, it doesn't run all the way around, that's right. If it knew a better shortcut though, it would be easier. Ah, the unholy air. These dust storms really piss me off sometimes. Wonder how it's looking in Eastern Thanalan. Ooh, nice and clear. Oh, look at that. still as beautiful as I remember. Feels nice to be back in a desert and not frickin' snow. Have I mentioned I hate the snow? I live in New England, so it's like, when snow comes, it is not fun. Alright, so where is this fucker? In the inn? Hey! Carla, my first guess. Anyways, Why, yes, I am Professor Lambertient. Beg pardon? You wish to hear about my research on corrupted crystals? Truly? Well, nothing would give me greater pleasure than to discuss my work with a fellow man of science. So rare it is to find fellow intellectuals in this region. 'Tis even rarer to find one capable of comprehending the nature of corrupted crystals. Come to think of it, there was another, a hermit to whom the church had given sanctuary. Curious fellow, unsociable, rather daft at first impression, yet possessed of an amazing affinity towards the scientific pursuits. But to the matter at hand. Did you say you wish not to conduct field observations, but to harvest a corrupted crystal? Egods, man! At least take the necessary precautions so that you do not suffer from exposure to its harmful energies. I'm beginning to wonder if you've sufficient qualifications to handle such hazardous materials. Still, your ignorance is somehow endearing. If you bring me a suitable vessel, say a common clay pot, I shall coat it with a chemical sealant of my own design. Simply store the crystal you seek within this pot to protect yourself from its deleterious effects. Where am I to find a clay pot? Well, I'm hardly a merchant, but surely some fellow at the Golden Bazaar has some for sale. Of course, we ain't gotta go back to High Bridge. Oh wait, no, we still gotta go north. Which pisses me off. We're taking the Coral Mount for a bit. But we want to be going north. Here we go, right through the fate. All right. You get a pot! And you get a pot! Everyone gets a pot! Sorry, I got a bit carried away with disposing of merchandise. Anyway, take my pot, please. I'm gonna quote that later. Alright. Alright, we're back. Not a minute too soon, it's fucking pouring out here. Fascinating. Even accounting for the unusually strong ethereal currents in the region, the crystalline formations are... Oh, you've returned. Any luck finding a pot like I suggested? Well, this is indeed an unremarkable piece of rubbish, but for our purposes it shall suffice. With the liberal application of my chemical sealant, this sorry excuse for an earthenware will be reborn as a corrupted crystal containment device. Now observe this scholar skillfully. Almost dropped that. Skillfully coats the interior of this pot just so... There, it's finished. You no longer need to fear the crystal's transformative energies. Though I suppose you'll be bombarded with its energies until you place it within the vessel. Well, perhaps it shall motivate you to work quickly. In any case, I would now have you take the warded pot to Sako, a student of mine monitoring the flow of aether at Highbridge. Explain to him your quest, and he shall instruct you in the finer points of crystal harvesting. Can we do it when it's not raining? Probably not. Alright, off to Highbridge. The Royal Alagan Sunway. Yeah, we're not here for the fate, really. How many times must I be made to explain myself? I am not contemplating suicide, you imbecile. I have chosen this precise position to perform scientific measurements. What have we here? A containment vessel? Why, this is the handiwork of Professor Labyrinthian. You thieving knave, I shall call for the... Oh, made especially for you by the man himself. Then you must have sought me out per his instruction, which means he believes me experienced enough to expound upon his explanations. At last, a recognition I so rightfully deserve! And we've learned Tempered Will. I don't know what Tempered Will does. I will find out in a second. So what does Tempered Will do? It... Let's see. Immediately cures blind and heavy while preventing knockback and drawing effects. Might not need it, but I don't know. Excuse me. Oh, fabulous day! Calais! That I should be chosen to guide this man. Yes, I, Sako, greatest of Professor Lambertian's pupils, shall see that you successfully quarry your quarry. Your timing is impeccable, in fact, for I was just preparing to procure corrupted crystals from the burning wall for my personal research. There, the devastating destruction caused by the calamity has blessed us with a bounty of sublime specimens. But something tells me that naught but a perfect peace will satisfy our high standards, in which case you must needs descend to the deepest depths. Amidst the flowing waters and the murderous mirror nights lies the most fantastic formation I have found so far. Take this highly advanced researcher's tool and use it to separate a small fragment from the large cluster. Place it within the warded pot and bear it back to me for inspection. The path which leads from Burgundy Falls to the base of the burning wall is treacherous and terrifying, but advance with appropriate caution and you shall surely survive. Alright, where is it exactly? I'm sure if we follow this, we'll get it. Okay, here we go. Nope, don't want that. Alright, we just gotta follow the pathway until we get there. Let's see. Is it here? No. I know where to go. All right. There we go. Yeah, I might want to run from that one. If it wasn't for the fact that I had to go back to the Lalafell, I'd frickin' just teleport, but unfortunately, I don't want to have to run all that way. Alright, we made it. And we only had to fight one Mirror Knight. Now, if the rain would just let up, I'd be a happy camper. I see you have come galumphing back. Have you the crystal, then? What a prodigiously large and lovely crystal! Professor Libertian will doubtless chortle with joy when you present it to him in person. Oh, and upon your return, do remember to recount how I helped you with your harvesting. Of course. Hey. I'm starting to get tired. My keen scholar sense tells me you've obtained a corrupted crystal. Am I right? If you would grant me a moment to examine the crystal... Ah, it is as you desired. A corrupted crystal overflowing with wind-aspected aether. Remind me, for what purpose did you intend to use this crystal again? What? To breach a barrier comprised of wind-aspected aether? Oh dear. That may prove problematic, as this crystal would only serve to strengthen the barrier. I suppose I am at fault for not inquiring as to your objectives from the start. Had I known your intent, I would have never sent you to Hahasako. But what is science if not trial and error? And can you truly say that this failure has taught you nothing? Think, man. You now understand the methods necessary to safely collect a corrupted crystal. You will doubtless have no difficulty doing so once more. What's more, the crystal you collected can serve as an invaluable resource for the ethereal studies conducted by the students of Baldessian. Have you heard of them? Well, I don't mean to boast, but I have a professional relationship with the organization. Not as equals, of course. I would never be so bold as to claim that level of expertise. Are you alright? Your eyes seem to have glazed over for a moment. Anyway, I shan't keep you from your task. You've still a corrupted crystal to find. Corrupted crystals of sufficient size and strength are not all that common, I fear. Fortunately, one of my other students, Sayana, seems to have discovered another promising site in eastern Lenosha. Wait, that's not correct. Eastern Lenosha was where she was nearly killed when wandering too close to an imperial castrum. Now that's made for an amusing anecdote. It was western Lenosha, Pharaoh Sirius on the Isles of Umbra, to be precise. I can't recall her exact reasoning. Something to do with one of Dalamud's talons or some such nonsense. What I can say for certain is that she is still in Aleport, attempting to gain access to the Isles. Why not travel there and see if Sayana's inquiries bear fruit? If you can look past the crass and violent ways of the local pirates, you might find your time there to be quite pleasurable. Oh, and do not forget to take your makeshift warded pot, lest she think you're unprepared for the task. Alright, we're off to Aleport. And this time by way of teleport. I need food. Food. Eat my damn food. Man, the weather just sucks today in Eorzea. Windy weather, rain. Nope. She's up on the wall. Corrupted crystals. Sir, I've no interest in being the butt of your jokes, so if you've no other reason for addressing me, kindly leave me be. Well, I'll be damned. Professor Libertine did send you. Beg your pardon, it seems we got off on the wrong foot. I am Sayana, greatest of the Professor's pupils, which is doubtless why he bid you seek me out. Indeed, I am an accomplished scholar with an extensive background in... Oh, gods, just listen to me prattle on and on. I must have given this introduction a dozen times by now. Alright, let's continue. As I told the Professor in my many missives, I believe that the area surrounding Pharaoh Sirius is replete with corrupted crystals of exceptional strength. Unfortunately, I've yet to test my hypothesis, as all access to the Isles of Umbra is prohibited at present for reasons unknown to me. You see, my attempts to acquire this information are often met with annoyance and disdain. It's rather puzzling, since I always take time to explain my motivations in great detail to the subjects of my questioning. Mayhap you will have better luck wresting information from these yellow jackets. I've all but given up at this point. Well, let's see. Ah! You startled me! Don't you know better than to sneak up on a person at a time like this? What with all this fatuous gossip of spirits and specters haunting the Isles of Umbra? Just because I know it's nonsense doesn't make it any less frightening. You're keen on travelling to the Isles of Umbra? Bloody hells, lad. Are you drunk or just crazy? Ain't nothing there but death. Death and more death. I want to say it's here I have to go. Yep. The Isles of Umbra? What interest have you in that god's forsaken place? Ever since we were forced to abandon Pharaoh Sirius, the Isles have become not more than a graveyard for ships unable to navigate the shores, and a purgatory for the souls dragged down to the depths with them. Looks like everybody just wants,
Bayan, you've returned. Tell me of your findings. Really? Infested with the undead, you say? That is a very, very interesting development. Excuse me for a moment while I gather my thoughts. Worry not, my friend. I've given your findings some thought, and I've concluded that this talk of spirits is not more than local folklore. As for why all travel to Isles of Umbra is restricted, well, mayhap it's considered too dangerous, owing to the abandonment of Pharaoh Sirius. Yes, well, anyway, while we were questioning those yellow jackets, I paid a visit to the local pub, since even an esteemed scholar like myself enjoys dulling her wits on occasion. It was there that I heard tell of a man named Skirfin, who was recently detained after returning from, wait for it, the Isles of Umbra. This is the first I've heard of someone actually traveling to and from there, so I'm curious as to how he obtained permission. Mind having a chat with him in my stead? He was arrested after all, so I'm somewhat reticent to approach him myself.
Oh, of course, send the freaking adventurer to it. That's my phone. Alright, let's see. I have to go back. She calls to me, sings to me. Ugh. Tell Mimidoa I'm sorry. Give him this. He was right. Or you could release me? Yes, release me. I will go and tell her. Let me go to her. What? Alright, let's see what
did Skirfin have to say? That's not terribly helpful. I couldn't care less how much he misses his favorite bar, wench. But what was that about a man named Mimidoa? Wait, I know that name. That's that bastard who grabbed my ass the other day at the pub. Well, if you want to give him that feather, be my guest. I'm not going anywhere near him and his wandering hands.
Looks like Mimidoa's getting himself into a little trouble with the ladies. Another initiate, are ye? No? Then what are ye? Speak up, son, I can't hear ye. Eh? Bugger me. Is this what I think it is? Nah, couldn't be. You found this, you say? Where'd you say you found it? Skiffian, you say? Was hoping to have a word with the lad, but it sounds like there's not left twixt his ears. He was supposed to help patch up Pharaoh Sirius, he was. Company sent me to supervise a lot of them. Weren't getting work done on their own, see? Half of them walked off, half of them ran off, and half of them up and vanished.
What's that? Ye be looking for passage to the Isles of Umbra? Why didn't ye say so? I've been thinking of dispatching someone to take a look on behalf of Mimandoa. Tell him how the land lies. Ain't nobody been interested till you came a-calling. Whole port's up in arms about spirits and so forth. If I had the gill, I'd hire some sellswords and let them sort it out. But you'll do in a pinch, ye will. Show this parchment to the skipper and he'll see you there and back.
Alright. Let's go to the ferry skipper. The skipper too. Wait, why are we showing the parchment into her?
So you went in and had a word with Mimidoa? I hope the valuable time you saw fit to waste amounted to something. You mean that disgusting creature was superior? I find that hard to believe. But this writ of passage does appear to be genuine, so it must be true. I must say it's a relief to work with such an industrious man as you. I look forward to hearing the discoveries you will make on the Isles of Umbra. Without me. Fine. I fail to see the justification for dragging me along on your journey, but if you insist, I will go as well. But 12 as my witness. If you leave me behind to be devoured by some horrid abomination, I shall come back to haunt you.
Alright, let's talk with the skipper. Ha! Take me to the Isles of Umbra, he bids, as if it's simple as... Oh, I see you've got a writ of passage. Alright then, climb aboard. Well, here we are. The Isles of Umbra.
This doesn't seem all that bad. I'm not saying I'd like to build a summer home here, but... Oh, the hells with this! Here, take your pot and go on without me! You have harvested corrupted crystals before, right? So it isn't as though you require my assistance. Speak to the man guarding the gate. I'm sure he'll let you in. Now, if you would please excuse me.
Wow, she is just plain pussy. Beg your pardon, sir, but how did you come here? Access to this island is currently restricted. An old pot? Not sure I follow. Oh, I see. You wish to harvest a corrupted crystal. Sorry, friend, but you may have to return empty-handed. And why is that? Give me a sec, I'm just sending a text. Alright, let's continue. The writ Master Mimandoa gave you may grant you access to the island, but only authorized personnel may proceed past this point. Why, you ask? Look up and see for yourself. When that giant mass of crystal struck the lighthouse, it caused severe damage to both the structure and the machinery within that once powered the beacon. Aye, contrary to what the small spoke would have you believe, the fires of Pharaoh Sirius were not the byproduct of a mage's thaumaturgy or a colossal arcane bomb, but an elaborate contraption fueled by ethereal energy. Repairs are still ongoing, but it's anyone's guess when they'll be complete. What's worse, all work has ceased since rumors of the Walking Dead drove off our entire crew. Not that those rumors are incorrect. I've observed the fiend from a distance, at the ship graveyard to the south. What's drawn him to our shores is still a mystery, though. I'll make you a deal, Bayan. Help me unravel this mystery, and I'll bring you your corrupted crystal. In fact, I shall begin searching for one that satisfies your requirements. As for where to begin your inquiries into the situation, it so happens that a party of 3 adventurers came ashore not long ago, seeking to scavenge valuable trinkets at the ship graveyard. I'd be surprised if they knew nothing of the undead infestation, so it might behoove you to question them. Let's hope.
You saw them too, right? Dead people, just shambling about without a care in the world. Except when they do seem to care, that is, and start shuffling towards the water.
Gods, that voice! That single fleeting verse! I can still hear it. Stay clear of the southern shore, friend. It took every ounce of my strength to resist. It's all there for the taking. 5 bleeding years of wrecks and the cargo with those queer dead things. And the voice. Actually, the voice was quite nice. So, what do we got? This talk of an alluring voice is disturbingly familiar, as if... But that's impossible. They're all dead, aren't they? Well, we don't know that for sure. But if they have returned, that would mean... Oh, beg your pardon. I was just, thinking about something. Which reminds me, I received word that Master Mimidor would be arriving any moment. Apparently he grew tired of waiting for the lanky young lad with the 1,000-yalm stare to return, which I'm assuming is you. I don't know what sort of arrangement you had, but you should probably go and explain yourself.
What's been keeping you, initiate? I ain't getting any younger, you know. Eh? Some honey-voiced harlot's been calling out to folk what wander near the ship graveyard, and it's what stirred up the dead and all. Bloody hells! This takes me back to my days as a Callan boy. Sailing under old Mistbeard. But they wouldn't dare, would they? Not after the lesson we learned them last time. Ah, they bloody would though, wouldn't they, brazen old biddies? Some folk said as the first purge would be the last, but I knew deep down in me bones that as this day would come, and come it has. It bent me ears the sirens behind all this. Nay, not one of the sun green variety initiate. I speak of the other kind, them what's got feathers and lure sailors to a watery grave with their sweet, sweet song. Oh, but it don't end there. No, drowning's just a start. See, even in death, a man is bound to the beast, forced to do her bidding till his corpse can't do it no more. 'Tis a fate I wouldn't wish on me worst enemy, except maybe in drink. And I'd regret it after. And he wrote, 'tis up to us to stop this hell's-born hussy before she takes another soul. Course we can't send ye marching off to war without these. Siren don't have no power, man, and it can't hear the song. 'Tis lucky for you I carry a spare pair. And lucky for the both of us that I'm a superstitious old sod, eh?
Well, she ain't coming to us, so we best head on to the ship graveyard, initiate. Oh, this is gonna suck. Hold on, I need 2 hands to game and... Okay, back to work. Here we are at the ship graveyard. Alright, here we go. If she passes near the shore, she's sure to spy the campfire on and come looking. Just a matter of waiting now. Alright. Let's do it. Now we sit and wait. I'm beginning to wonder if some sly bugger ain't spun us a yarn here. Quiet. Do you hear that? 'Tis her. Look! Out of the water! She's come, initiate! She's come! Quick, lad! Shove them plugs in your ears and get ready for a fight! Soon as she realizes your deities, she'll call on her thralls, and we'll be up to our necks in corpses before you know it! I am not singing during this, so forget it. If anyone wants to, Alright, let's rock. Come on, you fuckers. Who's next? Is that it? Alright, come on, you assholes. This is almost too easy. Come on. I want to keep from those bubbles. God forbid they actually do something to me. Like that. We got this. We got this. Haha, suck it, bitch. You got no power over me. Eh? Am I alright? Ha! I'm better than that initiate. Happy as a sailor in a whorehouse I am. Of course I'd be happy as a sailor with two what's-its if we'd gutted the songstress. But you can't have everything, can ye? She'll not come crooning round here again, though. Not for a while, then, your old. And if she does, well, we know what to do, don't we? Thanks for the help, and, bugging me, I've clean forgot your name. Remind me. Bayan? Don't recall having no initiate by that name, but if you're not me old mate, what's his name? Why have you been so bloody helpful? Ah, never mind. Be seeing you, lad. Now to speak with David, or David, or whatever. However you fucking pronounce it. You mean it was a siren? But how are you able to resist her song? I see. I had heard that Master Mimido was involved in the first purge, but I never actually... Having survived an ordeal like that, I can't blame him for carrying earplugs around with him. Anyway, I have something for you. The corrupted crystal you wanted. Safely sealed within the pot, just as you requested. Please, take it with my compliments. Good. We're getting out of this fuckhole.
Oh, it's you! Welcome back, Bayan. You're looking remarkably hale, I must say, and more importantly, alive. You are alive, aren't you? Aha! The conquering hero returns bearing a gift. Might I have a closer look? Impressive. Very impressive indeed. Yes, I think you'll be quite pleased with this specimen. Congratulations, Bayan. Seldom, if I ever have encountered a corrupted crystal comprised of such a volatile overabundance of fire-aspected aether. What? You wanted a corrupted crystal composed of ice-aspected aether to counteract the effects of a raging wind? Well, this specimen won't help you there. Anyone who knows anything about the elements could tell you that. You'll just have to keep looking, I suppose.
Well, that was worthless. And now we can't do any more until we hit level 43. So we're gonna have to level up a bit, but I'm not doing it tonight because I'm tired. Anyways, we're gonna sign off for the night, and we'll continue this adventure next time. Until then, Cruising X out.